Lesson 7 is going to be on multiple transformations. So starting today, what you're going to be doing is reflecting and rotating to get a final image, or translating and reflecting and dilating. Basically, you're going to be doing more than one transformation to get your final image. Just as a review, reflection means to flip. You're really just going to focus on 4 different types of flipping. You're going to reflect or flip over the x-axis, the y-axis, the y equals x, or the y equals negative x. Remember, the y equals x and the y equals negative x are your diagonal lines that go through the origin, and then your x and y axis are just what we've known them as. Rotation is to turn. More than likely, we're always going to turn or rotate around the origin, but there are going to be times when they may ask you to rotate it around a point. So just make sure you read the directions so you know which one you're doing. We're typically just going to rotate either 90 degrees, 180, or 270, and they can either be clockwise or counterclockwise. It asks for clockwise, but it's easy to do counterclockwise. That's completely fine, as long as you end up in the correct quadrant. Translation means to slide. General rules of thumb is just you're going to either translate your x-axis or y-axis, or you end up doing both sometimes. Just remember, if you're adding, you're going to the right, and if you're subtracting, you're going to the left with your x-axis. And then with the y-axis, if you're adding, you're going up your y, and if you subtract, you're going down the y-axis. Those are just general rules of thumb to help you remember for translation. Dilation just means to change size, and what that means is if it's multiplying or scale factor by a whole number, it's going to get larger, and if you multiply by a fraction, it's going to get smaller. It'll tell you to dilate the entire figure, or it may say just to dilate the x factor or the y factor of it. You just have to make sure you read the directions and know what you are dilating, the entire figure or just part of the figure.